You're an introvert. You finally escape the deafening roar of the extroverted world and find yourself in a room full of, well, other quiet people, your supposed tribe. But then it hits you, that familiar icy pang. You're still the odd one out, the observer from a different dimension, even here. If you're nodding, you're probably an INFJ, and no, you're not crazy. You're just wired differently. Let's decode why you feel like an alien, even amongst your fellow introverts. Firstly, let's talk about your overactive people radar in what should be a low signal zone. Most introverts are happily cocooned in their inner worlds, their social scanners on low power. But you, INFJ, your extroverted feeling, your FE, is always on, always scanning like a psychic TSA agent at a meditation retreat. Even in a room of serene introverts, you're compulsively decoding every sigh, every glance, every shift in posture. You're mapping the unspoken emotional landscape, trying to sense the subtle harmonies, or more often, the hidden discords. While other introverts are just enjoying the blessed silence, you're doing emotional overtime, feeling like you're on a high-stakes mission nobody else is even aware of. And yes, other feelers are empathetic, but your FE projects outwards, seeking to manage or subtly influence the room's vibe. It's exhausting, isn't it? Secondly, you crave soul-deep connection, not just shared silence or a mutual love for cats. Look, other introverts can bond beautifully over shared hobbies, a comfortable lack of small talk, or that mutual understanding that solitude is golden. And you appreciate that, you really do. But deep down, what you, INFJ, are desperately seeking is a connection that plummets into the very core of being. A meeting of minds, souls, and existential crises. When other introverts are content with a more surface-level, albeit peaceful camaraderie, you can feel this profound, almost unbearable ache of loneliness. You mistake shared introversion for soul kinship, and the disappointment stings, making you feel like you're asking for something that doesn't exist. Sure, all NFs want depth, but your intensity often projects an expectation that leaves even other NF introverts feeling a little overwhelmed. Thirdly, there's the sheer burden of knowing things without ever being asked, or often without being believed. Your introverted intuition, that infamous NI, gifts you with these uncanny insights, these sudden aha moments about people, their motives, future trajectories. It's like having spoilers for a movie everyone else is watching for the first time. Now imagine sharing these intuitive leaps with other introverts, particularly the more literal sensors or the purely logical thinkers. To them, it can sound like you're pulling theories out of thin air, being woo-woo, or worse, judging them. So you learn to keep these insights locked away, creating this rich, secret inner world that, paradoxically, isolates you even further. It's not arrogance, despite how it might be perceived. It's just your brain's default operating system, one that doesn't come with an easily translatable user manual. Fourthly, your secret, the mask of normalcy, is ironically heavier to wear around other introverts. INFJs are the ultimate social chameleons, right? You adapt, you mirror, you try to make everyone comfortable. But here's the kicker. You might work even harder to appear normally introverted around other introverts. You're terrified that your inherent intensity, your strange NIFE combo, will still mark you as too much, or just plain weird, even for the quiet crowd. Meanwhile, other introverts, especially those fire users like INFPs or ISFPs who champion authenticity above all, might sense this subtle, almost imperceptible masking. They might misinterpret it as insincerity, creating a distance, while you're just desperately trying to blend into the wallpaper without screaming. It's a tragic miscommunication. Fifthly, your trait. You're the future-obsessed visionary, dropped amongst present-past dwellers. Your NI, INFJ, means you spend a significant portion of your existence mentally time-traveling to the future. You're constantly envisioning possibilities, patterns, and potential outcomes, often with a grand, idealistic sweep. Now, contrast that with many other introverted types. Your ISXJ friend is likely grounded in past experiences and present realities. Your ISXP buddy is immersed in the sensory now. Even INTPs, while intuitive, are exploring future systems and abstract logic rather than the humanistic, often emotionally charged futures you see. This fundamental difference in temporal focus means conversations can feel like you're speaking different languages. Your future-gazing musings can feel dismissed or simply not grasped by introverts anchored firmly in other time zones. It's not that other introverts don't plan, it's that your future isn't just about to-do lists, it's about entire paradigms. Sixthly, your way. You process the entire world through a complex filter of values, not just cold logic or raw sensation. Yes, every type has values. But for you, INFJ, your FE and TI tango to create this intricate, deeply held ethical framework that's a primary lens for everything. When you encounter other introverts, say hyper-logical INTPs or ISTPs or ultra-pragmatic SJs, who approach situations with what feels like pure, unadulterated logic or direct sensory data, bypassing what you see as crucial humanistic or ethical considerations, it can feel incredibly jarring. It's like they're missing a whole layer of reality, the layer where compassion and interconnectedness reign supreme. You're not calling them immoral, but their decision-making can feel so starkly different, so devoid of the nuanced, people-centric calculus you live by, that it makes you feel like an alien from planet empathy. Seventhly, your habit. That compulsive, almost heroic need to fix or heal silent suffering, even when no one's asked. You see it, don't you? The subtle flicker of pain in someone's eyes, the unspoken burden they carry. And your INFJ heart leaps into action, feeling this profound responsibility to alleviate that suffering, to guide them towards growth. But here's the rub. In a room of introverts, many of whom are perfectly content processing their own stuff in their own quiet way, or who are genuinely just fine, your underlying desire to help, counsel, or nurture can feel, well, a bit much. It can come across as intrusive, meddling, or like you're turning them into your personal reclamation project. Other introverts might just want to be left to their own devices, not psychoanalyzed, however well-intentioned. That savior complex? Yeah, it can bite you back, especially here. Eighthly, the undeniable fact, the paradox of your extroverted feeling constantly warring with your introverted core. This is a big one. FE is an extroverted judging function. It needs to engage with the external emotional world. It craves feedback, seeks harmony, and wants to connect. But you, INFJ, are fundamentally an introvert. This creates an eternal internal tug-of-war. You need solitude to recharge your NI and TI, but your FE is desperately trying to reach out, to smooth things over, to feel the collective pulse. Many other introverted types simply don't have this strong, almost needy, external emotional component so high in their functional stack. Their introversion is more straightforward. This makes your social needs, and the subsequent spectacular burnout, seem contradictory or far more intense than that of your average quiet type, leading them to wonder if you're even a true introvert. Spoiler, you are, just a very complicated one. Ninthly, another sign. You consistently misinterpret the all-is-well introvert facade, and it drives you nuts. Many introverts are masters of the stoic, independent exterior. They could be wrestling existential demons internally, but on the outside, cool as a cucumber. You, with your FE radar pinging like crazy, often sense the underlying distress, the unspoken anxieties. So, you tentatively reach out based on these subtle, almost invisible cues, and what do you get? A polite, "I'm fine, thanks." Or worse, a blank stare. This makes you doubt your own perceptions, feel like you're hallucinating emotional undercurrents. You feel dismissed, invalidated, and like you're seeing a reality no one else acknowledges, especially not the very introverts who are experts at masking. Are they fine? Maybe. Are you overthinking? Possibly. But often, you're picking up on something real, and their denial just amplifies your sense of being out of sync. Finally, what does all this mean? It's time to embrace your uniquely baffling introverted blueprint. Feeling like an alien, even in a spaceship supposedly full of your own kind, doesn't mean you're defective, or that you're doing introversion wrong. It simply means your INFJ cognitive stack, that wild ride of introverted intuition, extroverted feeling, introverted thinking, and extroverted sensing, creates a profoundly unique way of being quiet, of connecting, of seeing the world, of being. Understanding these deep-seated differences isn't about isolating yourself further. It's about radical self-acceptance. It's about recognizing your rare frequency and learning to find those few souls, introverted or extroverted, who can tune in and appreciate your specific brand of quiet intensity and profound depth. You're not an alien INFJ. You're just a rare, complex, and often misunderstood masterpiece of human wiring. So INFJs, what are your most alien amongst introverts moments? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's build a community of understood aliens. And if this resonated, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay wonderfully weird.